Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you are in the world, and welcome to another edition of the Living World of Darkness, Big Apple Takedown. Our scene today finds us in Brooklyn. After having probably one of the better first meets with a new addition to the team or a new face, Emma has after leaving their mutual friend Ethan's house, seeing how well that she handled herself and conducted herself, and the fact that Jamie is not all that abrasive as far as she is concerned, she has decided to say on the way out, ask if Jamie wanted to get a drink, and upon an agreement, Emma basically said, "Here's the address to my favorite bar, and I'll meet you there once you get the bird cat settled." And so this is where we start our scene.
Bird cat. So yes, Jamie indeed heads back to her place to settle in the bird. She is without her car at the moment, as her tires were slashed earlier in the evening from a disgruntled customer, she's assuming. So that'll be taken care of tomorrow. So tonight she's walking, and likely from her place to the bar will take the subway or the bus, depending on where it's at. And yeah, she will meet up with Emma for a much needed drink to end the day, because God, what a day.
What a day indeed. A day when both people could use a drink. Normally Emma's sat up at the bar uh, on her lonesome and is rather happy that way. But this morning it's not the case. This morning she is she's got a table back and away from everyone else, where she is currently working on a Manhattan, uh, a nice amber colored drink with a cherry in it. I'm currently sitting there minding her own, not really looking all that impressive at the moment.
Yeah, so Jamie comes in, and she orders a whiskey sour, and we'll find Emma and take a seat next to her. Today definitely did not go the way I anticipated.
They rarely do in this life.
That is true. And it had been far too quiet in my world for too long. I wondered when essentially shit was going to hit the fan.
You're a realist.
Try to be. I've been at this a little while.
Well, me, I've been at this for just a little over 3 months now. And she'll kick back the glass, um, and sort of shake her head as she sets it down. Because a Manhattan is not a chuggy drink.
Right?
Has some bite to it, so when you decide that you want to shoot one down, there are consequences that you must pay. How about you? How long you've been at it?
It'll be 4 years on my birthday, which is in 10 days.
Jesus.
Yeah. She takes a sip of her drink. But I'd been in a bit of a lull the past couple of months or so, which wasn't necessarily unwelcome. It gave me enough time to establish my business here and get it off the ground.
That's good to know. Guess some people don't completely lose their minds going into this shit.
Not yet.
Well, I've only been in it for a bit, and already I feel like I'm going crazy.
She nods. And it's definitely not something that you can talk about with just anybody, because then people will think that you're crazy. But, I don't think it matters whether you've been at it a few months or a few years. You constantly get surprised with the shit that's out there.
I don't know if I'm surprised so much anymore as I'm just like, yep, that seems about right.
My she keeps her voice a bit low, but and looks to Emma and she says, "My reaction to the trees today was more like, really? The fucking trees too? Are you serious?" That was a new one for me. I hadn't really seen that before. But definitely she shakes her head. Crazy.
She'll nod to that. So, what exactly is your calling? Like, why are you here?
Well, I felt compelled to come here. Wasn't really sure why. I guess I was supposed to meet up with you guys. But I opened a restaurant. I've been off and on over the years, moving up in the restaurant business, self-taught chef, and learned how to manage things on my own. So I came here and got a building and opened Jay's Anytime Eats.
She closes her eyes and shakes her head. I fucking work at a diner in Manhattan.
You do.
She nods.
She laughs. Well, I'm sure at some point you would like a change of employment. You can come work for me.
Maybe if the pay is better, and maybe if you hire staff that are not 6 to 7 years younger than me, that'd be great.
Um, Most of my staff are above high school.
She kind of quirks her head a bit. How old do you think I am? And she'll lean forward a bit as her second drink comes.
She studies her for a moment. Mid-20s?
Nope. She'll sit back with the drink in one hand and the other arm sort of crossed over her stomach.
Are you older?
A bit.
Closer to my age, then.
Maybe.
I'll tell you. I am almost 34.
Almost 34. So you've got about 5 years on me then.
So, 29?
She'll nod.
She nods. Most of my staff are in their mid-20s or so. I prefer it that way. I don't. High school and young college students are unreliable, irresponsible, and I don't have room for that in my business.
Jesus, I like you already. She'll take a drink out of her glass and then set it down.
She gives a little bit of a smile and does kind of the same.
Fucking, I don't know how many times I've gotten to work and then the night shift just doesn't show up. And it's just me and the cooks.
She shakes her head. I am lucky that I have a reliable night staff. I work. I make it a point to be there during rush hours, so I come in around 10 o'clock in the morning and I stay until about 6 or 7. Sometimes I'll come in earlier, depending.
What would the starting salary be?
Let me really quick. Couple. She pays above the minimum wage in New York City, but let me look at what is. It is, as of the end of the year, going to be 1350. So I am above the curve for the projected minimum wage for the end of the year. I start at 14 an hour.
She actually seems to be fairly appreciative of that. And she'll, not wanting to seem too overeager, she'll just nod and take a sip out of her glass. I'll think it over, see how it goes.
She nods. All right.
How's your pie?
Good.
The place I work at now, their key lime pie is considered to be the best in the nation.
Really? Might have to come in and sample it. See what I can improve upon.
Emma's gonna wait for a really long time. She's gonna sip out of her glass and then tip it in Jamie's direction. So what you're telling me is you want to stop by and sample my pie. Okay.
Out of character, that was smooth as fuck. Jamie grins, and Emma will notice a slight blush of her cheeks. Maybe.
Hmm.
She takes a long drink.
Emma sort of looks off to one side, and her expression like relaxes a bit out of like the smile, and she'll take a breath in. So, what's been your experience in all of this? Like, what have you taken
Well,
away?
during my first couple of years, takes a look around to make sure that there's nobody really within earshot. But she keeps her voice low and she'll lean in a bit close and she'll say, during my first couple of years, I had a couple of major brushes with death. Um, was almost killed by a werewolf. And then almost drowned by this weird reptile-like creature.
Sounds interesting. I had a run-in with one of those, the former, not too long ago.
Oh, really?
She'll nod. I had to jump from a three-story window when it lost its shit.
Ew. Uh, I was in the back of a truck shooting at it. It ended up flipping the truck over, and at high speed, we went tumbling down a ravine. All of us managed to live. I had to do a bit of healing, but we survived. Did you uh did you get hurt when you jumped off the building?
I mean, it hurt, but I don't think I was especially banged up. I had a bit of a shiner going.
She'll nod. Well, that's good.
Bitch tried to blame it on me later, saying that, oh, the reason my apartment was trashed was that I was drunk.
She furrows her brow. That's not very nice.
Yeah, no, it's not. But she'll shrug. Doesn't matter too much now. Last I heard, she was dead.
Probably good riddance, in all honesty. She'll raise her glass. She has no fucking love lost for werewolves.
I should warn you about. Yes, she's our de facto leader, Rebecca. I wouldn't talk that way in front of her. She gets really worked up about it. She doesn't have the same drive that a lot of us do. She's far more forgiving. If that makes any sense?
She nods slowly. I will keep that in mind. I definitely don't want to cause conflict within the group, especially being new. But Emma can get the feeling that Jamie is not particularly happy about censoring herself, but she'll do it, especially if it's for the good of the group, being the defender she is.
Yeah. I wouldn't really talk about it unless I wouldn't warn you about it unless it was just the right thing to do.
She nods, of course. I appreciate that. Thank you. No, I'm not going to make as much of an ass of myself as I would have before. She grins.
Not the major faux pas.
Indeed.
So aside from being a restaurateur and tumbling down the hill in trucks, what else do you do?
Um, as far as like hobbies and stuff go, I like to read, actually. Um, go for walks. I actually like nature, so this little circumstance that we're finding ourselves in actually intrigues me a lot. I'm saddened by the circumstances of the corrupted trees.
Anything else?
He thinks. I honestly don't really have a lot of time for much else.
Hmm.
Watch TV once in a while. I like Orange is the New Black.
Hmm.
Do you watch it?
I watch bits and pieces. It's okay. I had a hard time sticking with it when I realized the main character was. She's kind of a sociopath.
Yeah, a little bit. She'll nod. But I like a lot of the other characters, so that's why I keep watching it.
Gonna go for a walk?
Sure. She'll finish off her drink and leave the glass.
And we'll take a 20 and leave it out on the table. And then we'll exit. And once they're clear of the door, immediately light up her cigarette. And she'll look over at Jamie. You smoke?
Every once in a while.
She'll offer the pack over.
She'll take it. Take one out. Light it up. Hand it back.
She'll put them into her pocket. So you're bought here by fate. You got yourself a business. You got yourself some interesting hobbies. Anything else?
to have my car fixed tomorrow because some asshole slashed my tires.
That is a dick move.
Absolutely. Some customer that wasn't happy about, I don't even know what. Everything was done right. His food was out on time and it was cooked correctly. I don't even know what his problem was. But he was mad and he left in a huff. And then when I get to my car with, I named him Mayday as he crashed into the window. I get to my car and notice that the tires are slashed. So I called roadside assistance and let them know that I needed a tow, and thankfully I'm parked outside of my own establishment, so I'm not going to get towed. I mean, the car's, it's all right. It's a few years old, but reliable. It's gotten me a lot of places. I'm not sure that driving in New York City is quite the best idea, but hey, she shrugs.
Hmm.
So, yeah. So I got to deal with that first thing in the morning before I go into work.
Seems like it's one of those good times to take the morning off, don't you think?
Probably. I got people that can handle it.
Well, if there's half as reliable as you say, I think you're doing all right for yourself in this city.
Yeah. Nods. Been I've been pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I've had my ups and downs with this. I got into this because one of those fucking bloodsuckers had my mind all fucked up.
Your first run-in was with a bloodsucker.
Yep.
Mine too. It was following me home.
Mine made me feel and think that I couldn't live without him.
Ouch. I'm sorry.
He's still out there somewhere. Still out there, probably doing the same thing to someone else, using them for his own pleasures, for their blood.
She scowls, takes a drag off her cigarette. You interested in going after him?
I told Rebecca because she has some serious qualms about killing things. But
She she lightly growls just a little bit, like,
listen, there's got to be somebody who's willing to at least try and put some counter argument to the way we do things.
oh, I know. I've made my share of choices not to shoot something. It's just when you just know that something is out there doing things like that and hurting people, it's hard to just let that go, you know?
Yeah. But I told her there's only one in this city that I have to kill. One that I'll kill without question. The rest of
Oh,
them, well, see how the night takes us. Where the night takes us. I want to be someone who's off my rocker, just killing everything for the sake of killing it, just because it's not like us.
well, no, I don't approve of that either. And I've had some allied with me in the past.
These ones are the only ones I've ever had. Guess though I'm still new enough at it that it's probably not surprising to you.
He nods.
And as they continue to walk, they finally come to a corner and a set of stairs, and we'll look at the door, still not completely closed. She just kind of roll her eyes. Super said he was going to have that fixed.
Door doesn't shut all the way.
Not the one that gets you into the building now. You you want to come up?
Sure.
I'm gonna lead her upstairs, and she gets to her door, which she has to unlock and then use her shoulder to actually get open, with sort of a
They
shove to it. As you can see, I'm not too worried about people breaking into my place.
He nods. Yeah, I think that you would notice if somebody tried.
She'll chuckle to herself as she has to repeat the process to shut the door. And
She
she'll go up.
takes, I was just to say, takes a look around.
Her apartment's not nice, but it's not like, she's living like in squalor or anything. Her apartment's, there's a couch. It looks like it's a couch and a love seat that have both seen better days. So a couple there's claw marks on them as well. Her table is currently only half a table that's rested up on its legs on the one half and then stacked books on the other. And she'll go to her kitchen and start to pour glasses of Southern Comfort. She'll take out her ice trays, one of those old metal ones with the lever in it,
Mm-hmm.
and she'll toss some cubes into them, and then hold on one out to Jamie.
Take it.
So you've been doing this long enough that you have some tenure to it. You've had its measure.
Nods.
Is it always going to be like this?
Yes. The important thing is that you find people that you get along with, which, for the most part, I haven't really met one that I couldn't get along with because we all generally have the same goals in mind. We might vary in opinions on how to achieve them, but like you said, with Rebecca, she doesn't care to really kill for doesn't care to really kill unless absolutely necessary. Am I right?
She'll nod.
And that's a very noble approach. And I don't fault her for that. I was in a place once. Are you familiar with the movie Silent Hill?
She'll shake her
The
head.
game first.
She'll shake her head.
It's about a town seems to be stuck in this state of purgatory, if you will. The same things happen over and over and over again, and time gets distorted and diluted, and you don't really know how long you're there, how much time has passed in the little air quote real world. And you have to put a sequence of events in motion in order to escape, to get out. Ended up in a town in Vermont. Was similar to that. The town seemed to be in this state of purgatory. There was a light fog surrounding it. Time was distorted. When night fell, everyone would retreat and lock themselves in their homes because the monsters would come out. And some of those monsters were... She shivers. Pretty grotesque. And vicious. We had to figure out what to do to get out. We ended up with the aid of a monster that was questionable, but we didn't have much of a choice but to trust her. Well, trust is relative.
Emma takes a deep breath in and she just starts drinking from her cup slowly and just continues to drink.
Yeah, she understands why she's drinking. Anyway, Nights seemed to go on forever, and there were precious few daylight. I won't even say hours, minutes, really. I think we were there for what seemed like a few days when we had finally managed to get out. We'd been gone a couple of months.
Jesus.
Yeah. We managed to defeat the man that was causing it all. He was not a very good person. And when you have to make the decision to kill a human, a lot like you, tough. Very, very tough. But it was the only way to free the rest of the town and for us to get out. We actually ended up. She takes a long, long drink, closes her eyes. We actually ended up killing some innocent people. She tears up. That will weigh on my mind for the rest of my life.
Emma refills a cup. Of
Yeah.
her own.
She takes another long drink. We got out and fucking went far away. I will never, ever go back to Vermont. No one can convince me to ever go back there.
Hmm. I haven't experienced anything close to that.
I hope you
Roughest.
don't experience anything like that.
I figure it's probably appropriate that I have to pay my dues at least a little bit before I can get what I want out of this.
You have to remember that we were chosen to do this for a reason. Help keep the world safe from those who would harm it. And every decision that we make doesn't just affect us. It affects people that have no idea what goes on behind their reality. And you can have your own personal goals and vendettas or what have you, but it is important to remember the bigger picture. It helps, at least me, keep some sense of sanity. Shakes her head. But I will admit there are days where I wonder, why me? Why was I made privy to this stuff?
I wonder that
I
myself sometimes.
sometimes envy the oblivious.
I believe the official term for that is why oh why didn't I take the blue pill?
Right? I'll nod. Take another drink. So
She's taking another long drink out of her glass, set it down. And I need to roll for her stamina. Oh god,
yeah,
we're godless heathens. We didn't set up a scene.
nope, we sure didn't. And I probably should roll Jamie's as well, especially since she has a bit of a weaker constitution with that eating disorder. She's got a weaker stamina.
Tammy's okay. She's buzzed, but she's okay.
Okay, let's see. What is Jamie's stamina? I think it's only 2. Yep, 2 stamina at diff 8. This is gonna be fun. Oh,
She's
so she's getting pretty drunk.
Emma's gonna look across the counter at Jamie.
Probably the talking about the things that she's gone through, especially killing those people, definitely kind of drove her to probably drink a bit faster than she normally would have, and more. So she's already getting pretty toasted.
Hmm. Yeah, Emma sets her glass down and sort of looks Jamie over. It looks like you arrived at the destination before I did.
Uh, I I don't really drink very often. Kind of a lightweight.
Yeah, I can see.
She laughs.
Yeah. She'll lean back against her countertop. I was going to start hitting on you, but it seems like probably not the best idea now.
Oh,
Emma shrugs. I like being the sober one hitting on somebody who's drunk.
she nods. That's fair.
Something creepy about it, I guess.
Well, she looks to her. Drunk or not, I honestly wouldn't mind you hitting on me.
Emma takes a sip out of her drink. You should know up front I'm not looking for anything serious.
she she laughs and she nods. Yeah, no. Don't have time for serious.
And if I do end up working for you, going to be okay if we see where that road goes?
She nods. One way or another, we're going to be working together, so she just kind of shrugs.
Emma nods, and she'll walk over to where Jamie's standing. Put a hand on her shoulder.
She smiles to her.
Emma just looks sort of wistful. Last time somebody was over here, there was a conversation like this. It ended with them turning into a furry madhouse.
Well, I can definitely assure you that I will not be doing that.
Just what are you going to do?
She reaches up and runs her fingers along her jaw. Maybe kiss you first.
And his eyes narrow. Not like in a not in like a what the fuck you think you're doing in a way, but sort of that I forget what the term is, going smoky eyed.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I can't remember what it's called, but yeah,
I know it.
smoldering.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's that more intrigued, possibly even seductive type of narrowing of the eyes.
yeah.
Would that interest you?
Emma's gonna kick down her glass, like literally slam it. Let's see where the night takes her. Damn.
she's got she's got that alcohol on lock tonight.
Mm-hmm. She's still buzzed, but it's just like, you sure you're in your right mind to do this?
She nods.
And she'll move that hand up to the side of Jamie's neck. I don't mind waiting if you're, you know.
Just a kiss.
She looks away for a moment with a smirk. Yeah, but I know where it leads.
Do you want me to drink some water first?
I don't know. You do seem like you're a little bit thirsty.
She grins. Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, Emma leans in and sort of takes the first move out of Jamie's hand and starts off with, something simple but vastly less than innocent.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll pull back and pour herself another glass.
She bites her lip. Mm. I liked that.
course you did. So maybe some ground rules, good idea to establish before we go for a second one.
She'll nod.
I don't think we can't let this interfere with the lifestyle, the hunt.
No, of course not.
And I should let you know that I'm not looking to be exclusive, so I don't expect you to be either.
She nods. Sounds good.
And a certain level of discretion amongst the others is probably advisable for a while.
Oh, yeah. I was actually going to say that. Mm-hmm. She nods. Especially since you've known me for all of less than a day. So yeah.
Like I said, nothing serious, and you're not my first person I've taken home from a bar upon meeting him. Probably won't be the last. At least I hope not.
She nods.
No money, no gifts. Just whatever if I do end up working for you. Whatever's fair.
Okay. She
And
smiles.
she'll take her last drink out of this SoCo. I'll set the glass back down. She'll let out a breath, and then she'll take Jamie by the hand and start walking back towards her bedroom.
She goes with her.
And I think there we can call that a scene.
Yep.
So thank you, players, for playing, and thank you, watchers, for watching.